How are you today? So today we're going to be talking about the number one thing to improve in your business. Here's the problem with that statement. it's is can we just think of one thing to improve? Well, there's many things that you probably need to improve inside your business to help it get to the next level of scale, of income, of decreasing your hours, of feeling like a rock star CEO, business owner, entrepreneur. Today, I'm going to give you several number one things in different areas of your business, and then pick one. Pick one. So, what are the key things to really think about in our business? If we think about 7 pillars, I like to teach people that there's 7 pillars in our business: mindset, plan, systems, market, sell, deliver, and then your personal life and your personal calendar. So, there's these 7 areas. So we need to have some breakthroughs in there. I like to think about the big dream breakthrough, the big blind spot breakthrough, the big money breakthrough, the client, product, and marketing breakthrough. So all of these pieces go together. You see how they're overlapping in the language. So there's typically in those 7 pillars, you have breakthroughs. And each one of those 7 pillars has actually the number one thing in that pillar that must be focused on. So I'm going to walk you through all 7 of those and pull out the number one, or at least the one I think is the number one, because sometimes it changes depending on where you are in your business. If you're building, some things change. If you're growing, the number one thing will be different. If you're scaling, the number one thing will be different. So I'm just going to give you today a variety of number one things in those 7 pillars. Ready? Say hello and say yes and hallelujah. It's Monday. I'm Mary McNow. I am a business and success and a life coach for women entrepreneurs, business women, CEOs who are overly educated and highly underpaid. You're highly educated. You got all the initials, but you know what? You're not making as much money as you thought you would during this part of your career. You probably don't have as much time. And I want to encourage you that you don't have to burn it all down. There's tweaks inside of your business. This is what I want you to walk away with today, that the number one thing in these 7 pillars are opportunities for you to make improvements. And improvements in your businesses are run on data, on numbers, on analysis, and not on emotion, right? So there's a difference between I'm so passionate about doing something, and like that's good to a moment, and then you have to look at the hard facts and the numbers. Is that converting into money in your pocket in less time working? And working harder, my friends, does not necessarily equate to putting in more hours. Period. I want to show that to you by these 7 different pillars. Ready? Number one, when we think about mindset, the number one thing to improve in your mindset is how are you embodying your CEO status? Are you looking at your business and doing things from where you want to be as the CEO? So if you want to have a 7-figure business, or you want to have a $500,000 business, you want to have a 10 million, are you making decisions from that place? So your mindset around your business and who you are as a female business owner is going to be a critical factor. That's the number one thing around pillar. No matter whether you're growing, scaling, or even starting to build your business, this is what you must master. Your business will only grow to the level that your mindset grows, that your evolution grows. I mean, and you can look at this like spiritually, right? I think you hear people say, God only gives me what I can handle. Or like I said, your business is the best personal development course on the face of the planet. So there's all these little cliches around the thing of embodying and being her. Number 2 pillar is plan. The number one thing to do in your business is planning from your goals. Just like being the person, being the woman, and doing things from that embodied space, but plan where you want to be, and the plan and the actions, which we're going to continue talking about, is from the goal. So what's your plan? Are you just throwing spaghetti on the wall? Or is it very concrete? I know that sometimes women are burned out because they literally don't have a plan. Or worse, they have a plan just for today and tomorrow. What's your plan from 3 years from now? And how can you reverse engineer what you're doing so that every day it's supporting that bigger 3-year goal or 2-year goal or even 1-year goal, but it's supporting the future goal, not today's goal, not tomorrow's, like I gotta. When you make a plan, it becomes very easy to say, does this help me get to this goal? Is this part of the plan? Yes or no. There's no emotion around it. It's just a yes or a no. Mindset, plan, systems. Do you have systems, my friends? Some people hate systems. They're like, makes them so nervous because it's like, here's the truth. Sometimes there's a lot of steps in the beginning for a system. I'm not going to deny that. But the number one thing to improve in your systems, and I'll give you a couple systems in a minute, is taking time to write them down. That's the number one thing that you need to be doing. And most people never do that. They scurry. They're winging it, and they don't have a solid methodology for building a system. So here's something easy to do today. Everything that you're doing over the next week, write down the process. You have systems in your business now and in your life. You just don't think of them as systems. If you thought of them as systems, it would help alleviate some of the stress. You probably have a system when you wake up. You wake up in the morning, you go to the bathroom, you wash your face, you have your quiet time, you wake up your kid, you have your cup of coffee. So you have a system in place now. Every Tuesday you do, every Sunday you batch cook. Like, you have systems in your life. Master outlining the systems in your business, because even if you just did that one thing where you could start really systematized. So every time you did a Facebook Live, or every time you did marketing, or every time you hired somebody, or you onboarded a client, there is a system. So you don't have to think so hard. I promise you it's going to save you hours and hours. Every single client that implements different systems that we work on inside the Big Bold Live and Biz Plan saves literally 10 hours a week. What would your life look like if you were starting to save 10 hours a week and you had the sense, the emotional state of relief, knowing that you have systems in place? You don't have to think so hard. There is such a thing as decision fatigue. So when you decide what your methodology is and the system for like onboarding, marketing, etc., and it's decided, then you can put it into play and evaluate it. But until there's a system, my friends, it's hard to evaluate what needs improvement. Okay, so we did mindset, plan, systems. Now we're going to talk about marketing. Oh my God, here's the number one thing to do for marketing. I love marketing. I think of marketing just as the ability to say, hi, I can help you. Here's how, which I'm doing right now. What I'm doing right now is marketing. This is marketing to you. So my best ideal now client, I want it now. They're going to go, oh my God, I don't have a system. Oh my God, I need to do this. Right. Okay, so this is marketing, showing up, sharing expertise in value for potential clients. Okay, so marketing. Here's the number one thing that most people don't do. They don't freaking market enough. Number one, they don't market enough. And the problem with that is, how is anybody supposed to know about you? And so what happens is we're sold this lie that we can get all our degrees, we can open that yogurt store, we can become the best, whatever, and have all the initials behind our name and then hang out our shingle and like Field of Dreams, here they come. That's not true. We've been sold a lie. That is not accurate. There is no build it, then they will come. You, my friends, have to build it and invite people to come. And that's what you do with your marketing. So the number one thing to improve in your business is, how much marketing are you doing? And when you are doing it, are you connecting with your best ideal now client? That's key. Mindset, plan, systems, market, sell. The number one thing to improve in your selling is doing it. Are you asking enough? So when we think about selling, it's not just necessarily that moment on a sales call, but are you actually selling? So what do I mean by that? I mean, are you giving an invitation? we think about sales sometimes as like arm twisting. In reality, it's an invitation to work together. And yes, it's great when people just come to us and they're like, oh, I love you, Mary. Here's my money. Ooh, my calendar just fell off the wall. Here we go. That's great. And that happens a lot. And it happens because there's good marketing. So people can come to you. So it makes actually your selling easier. So when you market effectively to your best ideal client, then it makes the selling easier. So the number one thing though is making sure you're doing the invitation to work together if they're the right fit. And the only way you know they're a right fit is if you're doing the marketing. And the only way you know if the marketing is working is because you have the system in place that you can analyze it and evaluate it. Okay, so we did market, mindset, plan, systems, market, sell, deliver. How is the number one improvement to make inside your delivery is making sure that when your client is onboarded via a system, that they are taken care of and that you do have it systematized. So for example, do they have a button that they can pay and they can sign up? Do they have a button that they can click to get on a call with you? And then once you actually they're a yes client after you've mastered your selling, what's your process so that they feel welcomed, so that they don't experience buyer's remorse? Here's one of the things that I do. Whether it's somebody coming in for a self-study program, there's a welcome video in there. There's welcome emails that go out. With my private clients, they might be getting something extra, maybe in the mail, or we set up when they have dinner with me, or we're making sure that they have their very first welcome packet, their very first assignment. So in your delivery, the number one thing is making sure that your onboarding for your relationship with that client is established. And finally, number 7 pillar is you, my friends. The number one thing to improve in your business is granting yourself permission to have the business that you really want. Not the business you think you should have, not the clients that you think you should work with. The number one thing is giving yourself permission to work like you want to work and how well and the way that you work best with clients. Here, my way that I work best with clients is I coach people 3 weeks out of the month. I take a ton of time off. I've got videos and lessons in a big membership vault with like all the things that they need to build, grow, and scale a successful business. So that helps me not have to work all the time. That helps me have the energy to pour into clients. So for example, we talked about mindset first, me embodying a CEO and a business owner for women specifically. I want to demonstrate to my clients that you can have a life that you love and a business that funds it. And so if I was scurrying around all the time and not taking care of my personal self, or my personal brand, or showing up with my personal values, which is one of the things that I teach you inside the Big Bold Life and Biz Plan, is building your business around your core values of who you are. That's so important. So you have to take care of yourself personally. So if I was working all the time, I have to tell you, one, I would be out of integrity to what I'm telling my clients. I have a lot of systems, all the pillars that I just went through. I have mastered those things so that my personal life, my personal Mary self can love my life. That is different than the first pillar that we talked about, mindset. As the CEO, I work on my mindset daily around me showing up, me being visible. I'm a hider, right? I am like a recluse introvert. And so I had to master the skill of showing up and being the CEO. But in the personal pillar is, who am I as Mary, a wife, lover, mother, and somebody who is loving myself and taking good care of myself. These are this is why, isn't it, that we become business owners, so that we have an opportunity to do all the other cool things in life personally. Also, final note, I believe so strongly that if you want to lead, you want to be a leader in your industry, the personal pillar is critically important. That is so critical to work on, because nobody wants to follow or hire, my friends, someone whose personal life is falling apart. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't times that shit happens. I'm tired, or something happens with River, my husband, or like that, got to get the roof fixed. Like it's not that we're not human, but working on yourself personally and that CEO mindset, that's what your clients want from you. They want to work with someone who's growing, who's evolving. They want to know your steps ahead of them so that you get them. And so I work a lot on my personal stuff. So those are the number one things to improve inside your business, inside the 7 pillars. I'm looking forward to being able to support you more around this. Here's the thing. When you just do, even if you did listen to this again, wrote down the number one thing within each of those pillars, your business will change. I, of course, want to help take you from where you are to where you want to go. And we can do that. And we do that with the methodology inside the Big Bold Life and Biz Plan. So we're going to talk more about that another day, but I want to invite you, if we haven't had a chance to talk, let's just talk. This is not some spammy arm twisting sales call. This would be a real conversation about what's going on in your business. Where are you plateaued, hit a wall, hit an income ceiling? And let me help you, give you a business breakthrough to really map that out. And if we're a fit, great, we'll work together. Otherwise, no matter what, you will have a breakthrough and you will have a map, a plan of action. And sometimes that aha changes everything. So I look forward to talking to you. I hope you're having the best day ever. And I am getting ready to work on one of my number one improvements inside my business. And that's some of my new marketing system. Webinars coming. Yay. Automation is coming. Yay. Oh, last note. I just got booked for a speaking gig in February of 2024. So if you haven't been getting yourself booked for talks or building out your webinar, your masterclass, and automate that, it's time, my friends. So I have a paid speaking gig in February. What would it be like for you to have a paid speaking gig already on the books? And then I have 5 other speaking gigs. I believe that your Big Bold Life and Biz, one of the best ways to feel confident about it is to really get online and offline. I don't know about you, but y'all, even though I'm live right now and this is going to be on my podcast, look, I don't want to be on social media all day, right? I don't. I would much rather do some social media, get off, have some automation, have some Facebook ads running, and then spend a couple hours talking in person to a group of 50 or 80 people. Imagine how different your life would be in your business if you learned to speak and you got in front of 10 people, 50 people. The largest crowd I've had so far is 750. Imagine having an automated presence and a masterclass or a webinar that's working when you're sleeping. This is how I have so much time off. All right. If you want to hear more about that, let's chat. I'll talk to you later. Enjoy the rest of the day. We could talk all day long. Bye now.